Hey there everybody, it's the Doctor here with Typical Manga Fan, and this episode of the Typical Manga Review we will be focusing on Bleach Chapter 634, Friend 4. And we open up with such good friends, Bazz-B and Oswald, just kicking the crap out of each other, or at least Oswald's kicking the crap out of Bazz-B, sending him flying.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really anything new. I mean, this is exactly where we left off, right?
More or less, I mean, like he's on the ground picking himself back up. Oswald's trying to get him to stand down since this won't really benefit Ewok in any real way.
I thought it would. If Bazz-B dies, doesn't his powers go back to Ewok? So doesn't it technically benefit him?
Well, at this point, I don't know if that'd be a good idea to tell Bazz-B that.
But I mean, Bazz-B just came from basically a betrayal, a mass betrayal, right? So
True.
I mean, there's nothing hiding. There's no secret to hide anymore.
Yeah, and of course, Bazz-B's full of bravado still, like not benefit him. Well, that's pretty obvious, considering I'm the one that's going to kill him. And he uses Burner Finger 4, which basically just seems to be a flame sword on his hand.
Yeah, Bazz-B. I thought he was gonna say not kill him. I thought he would become more powerful. I thought he was gonna actually call Oswald out on the whole, well, doesn't he get more powerful thing? But I guess not.
Yeah. Of course, the thing that I said, next page has something that confused me briefly, like the fact that Oswald yells out "Buzzard Black," and at first I thought it was attacking, but then I realized the next attack was Bazz-B and his sword. So like, yeah. I didn't know that. I just realized that was his name. Yeah, like there, Bazz-B there. Man, his parents must have hated him or something. I mean, who names their kid Buzzard?
Well, who? Yeah. Well, then again, yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
Black is fine as a name.
They're Quincy. They're weirdos to begin with.
Yeah. Anyway, Oswald tries to withdraw, and Bazz-B does the usual hothead thing and says he's running away. Pfft, we know better.
And then we go to a flashback. Another one. Jeez.
Where it's apparently been 3 years after that whole incident, which they seem to have hit their growth spurts in that time. Oh, yeah. Real quick. This first page with the flashback, is it just me or does Oswald look exactly like Byakuya?
Oh! I mean, the one thing that is distracting me is the hat.
Well, but he's got the forelock over his face.
No. Well, I mean, you have to understand that Kubo actually does tend to reuse a lot of character designs.
Well, I mean, that happens a lot in different media.
In anime, manga and anime in general.
There's actually used as a joke early in one of Toriyama's works, Dr. Slump.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, Kubo does it a little more than the average mangaka.
I don't know. These designs usually look. The faces are usually somewhat distinctive, at least.
I always think that's the hair that makes a difference. I mean,
yeah, it really is in a lot of the cases.
If you actually look at Orihime's and Rukia's faces from the anime, they look almost dead similar. Like if you actually look at the way that it's shaped and the eyes and everything, it's literally the hair and the eye color that changes everything.
Anyways, like Bazz-B is still trying to provoke Oswald into fight at this point as well. The pissy suck-up from last time, Hubert, is just kind of constantly getting picked on by some newbie must suck. Like, maybe you're not cut out to be a captain. He's like, Oswald's like, maybe. What is all why I'll be sure to follow your example, Vice Captain Hubert. And it's like, Hubert's deciding he maybe like take Bazz-B down a notch himself, but Oswald warns him, just like he warned Bazz-B, that these things, like fights between stern raiders, are forbidden, and are punishable by death, which, apparently they had some reforms between now and then.
Yeah, you know what's really weird is that they don't really enforce that if you think about it. Like, they obviously, if you do it in front of your block, he'll shoot the shit out of you. But like, they really have a lot of antagonism towards each other, like the Quincy's.
Yeah, and Oswald actually points out, like, when Hubert tries to say he'll just do it when Ewok's not watching, he's like, I'm always watching. And Hubert just backs down. Have we seen Hubert, by the way, or did he only just appear last week?
Oh no, he's the guy who was the who Bazz-B antagonized. Remember?
Well, I mean, we saw him last week and such, but I mean, in the present day.
Oh no, we haven't seen him at all.
Okay.
I mean, you know what would have been funny? Oh, you were saying?
I think it seems like they've grown a lot in just what's apparently supposed to have been 3 years.
Yeah, well, who the hell knows? I mean, these guys are technically... First off, these guys are supposed to be humans, even though they have powers, and they somehow survived 1,000 years, so whatever.
I think the popular theory there is stasis of some kind.
Yeah, or the fact that they live in the shadow world, or whatever it's called. The Von Reich. That's the town, but I don't know about the dimension. I think the dimension is still called Von Reich, actually. But you know what was really interesting was when I was reading this chapter, I was thinking, what if this guy was like a Kurosaki? That'd be hilarious. But it wasn't. I mean, yeah. Because I'm like, where are they? The Kurosaki should still be around here, right? Because I said the Ishidas were the only ones who said no to all this stuff. So that means the Kurosakis are part of this too, somewhere.
Yeah. Now I just realized, given that, we've probably got one more flashback coming out here when we start actually focusing on Ishida again.
Ah!
I just realized, like, well, at least we can kind of go on someone expecting it.
Yeah.
But anyways, like, Bazz is also frustrated because, like, Hoshwald never gave in to his provocations. Like, so it's like, never raised his blade against him. It's like, fight me! I haven't lost to you, not yet.
You know what's weird is that it's weird. Oh, you say?
I was just saying, and then next page he gets his arm chopped off again with the limbs.
You know what's interesting about this whole situation is that Bazz-B basically felt that he lost to Hoshwald without even putting up a fight, which is what pissed Bazz-B off. Is that he never had a chance, even if he knew he was gonna lose. He just wanted the chance to prove to show what he was capable of.
It's all about him.
Yeah, you know what's interesting though is Hoshwald kind of it felt as if Hoshwald was protecting Bazz-B out of like some lingering sense of friendship. But the fact that he actually eventually does chop his arm off and do other shit.
Well, Bazz-B just went too far at this point. He's actively getting in the way of things now.
Well, yeah, but you don't see. I mean, Hoshwald doesn't seem to. I mean, he doesn't show emotion in general, but like you would think that he would be a little more torn about this. Maybe at least maybe in some way, maybe just for a split. Now, obviously, he's been with Yubok and brainwashed man for so long, which is why he's normally emotionless. But I just like maybe it's just 1 second, just one split second. I don't know how they can do that with a manga, because one panel can seem like forever, But maybe in the anime, maybe just 1 second of just you can see it on his face before returning back to normal Hoshwald. That would be interesting.
Maybe. But anyways, like I said, and then apparently using his other hand, Bazz-B tries like the burning full fingers, like the full all 5 finger attack.
Yeah.
But in this case, the power of the spiral does not save him. Does not save his life.
Yeah, and he grabs Hoshwald's coat and says, "You got me." And he falls. Well, he starts falling to the ground. He starts bleeding. Well, he's always has been bleeding. Never mind. But he basically says, things never go the way you want them to, do they? I thought losing to you would hurt so much more than this. Basically, yeah. So basically, he thought that losing would be a lot more painful than what he's actually feeling. But I guess maybe
the fact that he never had a chance almost brought him comfort in a way.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe, yeah, but I think he a part of the alleviation of the pain. Why he didn't feel as much pain as he thought he would is because he got his chance. He got what he wanted, which is at least was an opportunity to show himself, and he was given that.
Yep.
Which is maybe that is Hoshwald's supposed get grace. I mean, the Quincy's are hella weird. This is probably them being nice.
Well, yeah, and then that's pretty much like is it for Bazz-B. Like the next page is like last little bit of flashbackiness on his part, and him just lying face down and done.
Yeah. So I actually like this chapter. Surprise, right? Yeah, not bad. I think it's the fact that the way Bazz-B died, the way it kind of felt like he wanted the opportunity. Everything came through in this chapter.
Yep.
The chapters actually made sense. So yeah, I mean, not the perfect chapter. I mean, obviously, but it did its job. Again, I wish that the whole arc, the whole past 4 chapters, were a little more compressed. But this chapter on its own I'm okay with it. I don't have much of a problem.
Yeah, I said my only real complaint on here is just that with Bazz-B in general, it's like it always seems like his big problem was like he saw himself as the center of the world, and he kept getting proven wrong repeatedly.
Yeah.
Like first like from our point of view, at least, first was the Oswallen where he almost got killed.
Yeah. And
then that prompts him to actually start going after him actively. And then here is like in last week's chapters, like he's like all pissed because Jugo's getting passed over in favor of Hoshwald. And then here he's like his whole big issue is that he never got a chance to fight Hoshwald properly, so he feels like he's missing out on something or missed something. So I wasn't really that interested in Bazz-B in general, but at the very least, well, you're right. This was a good chapter. It kind of at least resolves things there, gets them out of the way. But like I said, at the very least, now I just realized though we're guaranteed at least one more flashback for Ishida. And
then well, I mean, at least it'll be interesting because at least it'll show us why he's doing this or whatever.
True.
I still don't understand the fascination with Ishida. I mean, obviously he's picked because he's the known Quincy. He's been the Quincy in the entire manga. So I mean, from a story point of view, it makes sense. But within the story, in Yubok's point of view, what is Yubok's fascination with Ishida? Because he survived, but guess who else survived? His dad, who was way more powerful than him. I like to mention.
Yeah.
So
of course, he's also kept himself low key on there. Like, do they even know that he's still got the Quincy? Well, no, I was gonna say yeah. He was active Quincy. That's right. I was thinking of something else.
Yeah, and he even had the title, literally the title. He's like, you don't deserve the title of Last Quincy. But I think one would argue that maybe Ryuken is way too he's too upset at Yubak for the whole killing Masaki thing, and his wife too. But both, I mean, those are two women he loved, right? So. Yeah. And Yubak was responsible for both of them, their deaths, basically, indirectly or directly. So I'm sure maybe he decided not to go for Ryuken because he's like, well, that guy's probably
that, or he did, and it was all off screen.
Yeah, well, I mean I think that has to play in part with why did Uryu say yes? Because let's face it, Uryu legitimately turning bad. That's not right. Like, we can't go.
Yeah.
Like, that's not.
Well, I mean, what I think is like maybe because we haven't seen Ryuken this arc, have we?
No,
at all outside of flashback.
But then again, we haven't seen anyone. We haven't seen any of the main characters really. Think about it. But even like, I mean, he's not a main character, but he's like, associated with them more so than the Shinigami, in terms of humans. Because he's a human,
right?
Yeah, but it's. I mean, I don't know, because the problem again is that Bleach has such a big cast. If you told me that Kubo literally forgot about Ryuken, I would believe you. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. Hopefully we got a Bazz-B story. I will say that I don't want this to be the same for the other Quincy's that survived. Let's not have that, okay? Because I don't want.
Because we don't really need to know what's going on with Gluttony Girl.
Yeah,
and the most the flashback would do for Zombie Girl was so whether or not she's actually a girl or not.
But that's, I mean, and then again, that's from the manga's perspective, that's irrelevant. Okay, we're not supposed. There's no reason to delve into that theme, because the whole theme right now is how do we stop the freaking we don't need to go into the whole LBGT thing or the whole gender identity, like that stuff. That's not what Bleach is about, okay? I mean,
the scary thing is they go into it'll probably be done as a quick joke or something. Like
that's which is worse in my opinion, which is worse. But again, if you're into that stuff, fine. But this is not what this manga is about. So, okay, so I don't want it in this manga. Not because I'm against it, but because that's not what Bleach is about. I'm sure anyone would understand, So. And I think it is just the reason why that's even part of Zombie Girl's character is because Kubo thinks it's funny and creepy at the same time. I think that is actually probably the reason why he even bothered.
Sort of like Oda's thing with transsexuals.
Yeah, but Oda's thing with transsexuals it actually is funny.
Yeah, but he also I could easily see him being offended by it though.
Well, people get offended by a lot of stuff, but
I mean, at least here you feel it with reason.
Yeah,
but
Kubo's like, what? Why did this? Kubo's like dark humor, so it doesn't come off as great as it would in One Piece. But anyway, so yeah, let's hope we don't go. Let's hope that we don't go into the flashbacks of the other girls and just
just move on with it there.
At the same time, though, I'm kind of upset that they probably survived because they're girls.
Yeah. Well, like I said, not like were there any other female Stern Rider that survived by that point?
The Power Girl is still alive. She's just incapacitated. The only two females who died were the one who was killed by Kenpachi off screen, and then Bambita.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one that the Zombie Girl killed.
Yeah.
Right. In any case, looks like we're good for that for the week. So that's been Bleach chapter 634, Friend 4. Rest in peace, Red Rider BB Gun. And go ahead and take us away.
Bye.